another video. So in today's video we are going to be doing our Champions League semi-final second leg predictions today. So the first legs are complete. Both games were very, very entertaining, I must say, and both legs have set us up perfectly for some great semi-final second legs, and I'm extremely excited about them. So I'm going to be predicting them, and I'm going to be reviewing the first legs, basing my prediction on what I saw of that first leg, because obviously I haven't done a video speaking on the first leg, so here it is, I guess. Now, if we look at my predictions, guys, I'm actually on a roll right now. So in the quarterfinals, I predicted the second legs all correct in terms of like who was going to go through in the ties. In the semi-final, I said it would be 1-1 Bayern. It was 2-2, but I did predict it would be a draw correctly, and I said Dortmund would beat PSG 2-1. It was 1-0. So again, I didn't get the exact scoreline, but I predicted a Dortmund win. It was a Dortmund win, so I'm doing well. This doesn't usually occur, but I'm actually predicting stuff right now. And I mean, initially when I predicted, I believe I said that Real Madrid would go through and Dortmund would go through. We'll have a look at if I believe that now, but anyway. So the first one is PSG versus Dortmund. Now, the thing with PSG and Dortmund, so in this first game, really good game, by the way, really good game, super entertaining, lots of goal mouth action. I mean, to be honest, it was a little bit frustrating as a neutral watching it, because both teams had so many good chances. It was like, can you guys just score? Like, well, why is it only I thought this was gonna like bring up the stats, okay. But yeah, I was like, oh, can these guys just score? Because they missed so many chances. I just put it in. It's so annoying. Pause. Anyway, Jadon Sancho was absolutely terrific in this game. Really rolled back the years, and it's hilarious. This guy's balling out in the Champions League semi-final yet. Man United, Eric Ten Hag, the Sancho we saw there, I mean, was absolute shell of what we saw in this game. So, I mean, if he can do that in the second leg, then Dortmund are going to be fantastic. I thought, were the better team in this game. They definitely deserved the victory. Nicholas Fulkler's goal, absolutely superb, fantastic touch, fantastic finish. He has been terrific, especially in the Champions League. Such a good classic number 9. He should have scored again, but I can't fault him because he did score the goal, and it came from a fantastic long ball by Schlotterbeck. But that long ball is something which PSG have been getting caught out a lot with. Dortmund did it in the game. He tried it quite a few times, couldn't quite execute it, but then did it with Fulkler, because PSG press so high. They are susceptible to those long balls. Barca did it as well, very well. So if Dortmund can continue that in the second leg, then I think they're going to have good success. I thought though, Mbappe, he did more than he did in the first leg versus Barca, that was for sure. But Mbappe, didn't necessarily play like incredible or too bad. He was okay. He had that one moment where he was one-on-one with, I think it was almost with the fullback. No, it was Sabitzer, I think, and you're like, oh god, this is a goal. He's gonna cut in, curl it, and he did that, but then it just hit the post. So unlucky there. But I think the main thing for PSG was they need their players to be clinical and step up, because they had the chances to score, they had the chances to equalise in that game. But unfortunately, those chances didn't fall to Mbappe. They fell to the other players, who I guess failed the test in terms of they couldn't put those chances away against Dortmund. And PSG need that. They need those guys like Fabian PSG are very good at home as well, so it's going to be tough for Dortmund. I think PSG, of course, they're going to have to go for it, knowing that they need a victory. The fans going to be up for it. Now I do actually think Dortmund are going to go there and sit back a bit. Dortmund did that in moments in this game in the first leg, and they actually did it pretty well. I thought PSG didn't have tons of opportunities when Dortmund were sitting back, so I think Dortmund are going to go there, just sit back, try and hold on, try and grab a draw really. Going to be defensively resolute, players like Adeyemi, who was working so hard in that game, going to have to do that as well. PSG, they shouldn't really be panicking, and they definitely won't. Luis Enrique is a very experienced coach. He knows one goal is nothing. You can easily turn that around. But PSG, I think if you're Dortmund, you want to just keep it probably at 0-0 for as long as you can. Get the nerves, get the tensions going in the stadium. It comes to like 60 minutes, it's 0-0. Suddenly the PSG players start to panic a little. The fans get a bit nervy. They're like, oh no, we've been in this situation before. Are we actually going to score? Are we going to do it? And then with those nerves, as I said, we've seen it with PSG before. Mistakes, individual mistakes happen, and you might grab a goal, and then that's the tie done. I think that's really going to be Edin Terzic's game plan. Just hold out PSG for as long as you can, and then bank on them, gifting you a goal, which could very happen, or hit them on the counter, because Dortmund, they have the weapons, Adeyemi, Martin going forward, Sancho, Fulkler, we've seen. These guys are fantastic on the counter attack. When you give them space, they're going to do well, and PSG gives space, so I think this is going to be interesting. Now, what is my prediction? I actually think I think Dortmund are gonna hold out for a bit. I don't think PSG are scoring like an early goal or anything. I think PSG will score. I think Mbappe might turn up in this. He might and make it 1-0. I think it'll be 1-0, and then at that point Dortmund, as we saw against Atleti, I think they're gonna go for it a little bit now and come out their shell, and I'm not entirely sure if PSG can cope with that, because Dortmund cut through PSG multiple times. Sancho, Brand, these guys were just superb, and defensively PSG were not good at all, I thought, in that game. So I don't see PSG keeping a clean sheet, and I actually think Dortmund will score again, make it 1-1. PSG then panic, push for that goal, and then maybe late on I actually believe Dortmund could go up the other end, counter attack, and win 2-1 and go to the Champions League final. I know this might be a bit of a bold prediction, but I just think that PSG, if Mbappe is not the one the chances fall to, they're struggling. They're struggling to score. Gregor Cobra as well is a fantastic keeper, made a couple decent saves when required to. I think that PSG's defence is pretty weak and has quite a bit of fragilities when you compare it to Dortmund's attack. Dortmund's attack is electric, it's very good, and they've got a lead. So yeah, I believe that Dortmund are going to do the double over PSG and knock them out. And I actually think Adeyemi is going to have a big part to play in this, considering that I believe that Dortmund are going to sit back a bit, and PSG are going to go for it. I think there's going to be a lot of space for someone like Adeyemi to run into and do really, really well. So yeah, I think Dortmund, I'm sticking with my prediction. I think Dortmund are going to the Champions League final, and I actually think they're going to go to Paris and make a statement and beat PSG, in their own backyard, which would be something special. Alright, next up we have Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, second leg at the Bernabeu. Now the first leg, this was a fantastic game, ended 2-2 of course. I thought that Bayern most of the game that were really, really good. Tuchel's game plan was on point. The only really thing that cost Bayern was individual errors. Lapses of concentrations. To be honest, Kim Min-jae really for the penalty. Just completely idiotic really from Kim Min-jae, and it's a bit crazy me saying this because I actually really rate Kim. I actually think he's their best centre back, but he just was not on it in this game, and then even for the first goal got completely dragged out by Vinny, which left so much space in behind for Vinny to run into, and that was a really stupid thing because Kim and Eric Dyer, that's not a fast partnership. Real Madrid don't play with a target man or anyone. Their attackers are fast. The thing you do not do is leave space in behind, and Kim literally just ran, pushed up, leaves that space in behind, and Vinny of course runs into that, eats that all day up. But Toni Kroos, oh my god, what a pass, this guy is incredible. And overall in general he was fantastic in the game. And Vinny got a brace, penalty, scored his penalty, kept his composure, fantastic by Vinny, great finish for the first as well. Second goal for Bayern, the penalty for Harry Kane. Harry Kane was pretty anonymous. Fair play to Antonio Rudiger, by the way, because kept Haaland quiet over those two legs, and so far in those 90 minutes kept Harry Kane quiet. Of course, there is another 90 to play, so we'll see how he does. But I mean, Rudiger, this guy might actually be the best centre back in the world. He is coming up against the best strikers out there, and he is locking them all up. But that being said, Harry Kane, it's a penalty, sure, but he kept his composure. Big game, big moment, and scored it. Fair play. Couldn't do that for us at the World Cup though, but it is what it is. Jude Bellingham, speaking of English players, Jude Bellingham wasn't incredible in this game. Got subbed off actually, and I mean, it's not because Bellingham's bad or anything, but when he came off because of a tactical change with Brahim Diaz, who went to a 4-3-3, Madrid played a lot better. They played really, really well once Diaz and Modric came on. Modric's pass, of course, helped win the penalty. But yeah, I thought Real Madrid, Jude Bellingham reminds me of the first leg, versus Man City, where it was 3-3, where Jude Bellingham didn't really do too much. Vinny didn't do too much either. And then I was I said, second leg, you're not keeping Vinny and Bellingham quiet for 180 minutes. That's just not happening. And what happened? Well, Bellingham was fantastic in that second leg, and Vinny was as well. And I mean, to be fair, Vinny of course scored a brace, but it wasn't like he was the best Vinny we've seen. He can definitely play better than that. And of course, same with Bellingham. So I do think in this second leg there could be a potential of Bellingham and Vinny. I'm expecting better from him, and Rodrigo. I'm expecting these guys to show up even more and show their level. Similar thing though to a Harry Kane, a Musiala, a Sane. To be fair, those two were fantastic, especially Leroy Sane, who has had quite a few dips in form, but he started in a little bit of a different role. Tuchel, with his tactical tweak, put him on the left, and he was just more direct, really good. Lucas Vazquez struggled in that first half. Second half switched him, and then fantastic goal. At the near post, Lunin maybe could have done better, although Sonny hit that really, really fast. Speaking of Lunin, it'll be interesting because I've filmed this before, but Real Madrid have Cadiz on Saturday, and Carlo Ancelotti has said that Thibaut Courtois will start that game, which is going to be his first game back from his injury. He was, of course, named on the bench for the first leg, which is kind of a surprise. Now, if he does well in that in that 90 minutes against Cadiz, and is back to his best, no issues with his knee, then I said in the first leg, if Bayern were going to go through, they needed to win this first leg. They had to win it. I don't think Bayern are going to the Bernabeu winning Champions League semi-final, winning at the Bernabeu second leg. I'm not entirely sure how many teams in the history of football have done that, let alone this Bayern team. But that does not mean I think Bayern have no hope of going through, because I can definitely see a world where Bayern get a draw, beat them on pens, or maybe even in extra time snatch it. Because I think these two are very evenly matched, and from what we saw, you know, Tuchel, I absolutely love Tuchel, man. Like, he is so good in these games with his tactical plans, tactical tweaks. He just knows how to get the best out of players. You know, he's got like Eric Dyer playing fantastic in a Champions League semi, like who would have thought? So I don't think it's going to be easy for Madrid. People thinking, you know, Madrid are at home just going to easily win against Bayern. No, I think Bayern are going to cause them a lot of problems in this. I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be really good, I think. I generally think this could go to an extra time again for Madrid. Maybe even a penalty shootout as well again. I think it's going to be, again, down to those individuals really in this. You know, will a Bellingham step up? Will a Vinny step up? Will a Kane or a Musiala step up in this? Because in the first leg, you know, Vinny stepped up, Sane stepped up, Kane didn't. I guess Bellingham didn't as well. Out of those, you know, who's gonna step up and make that difference? And for me, I think there's gonna be goals. I think we saw both teams, you know, both teams play kind of you know, end-to-end football points. I think the way it's gonna work is I see Madrid scoring first. Madrid score first. First half, I think will end 1-0 to Real Madrid. Bayern are definitely gonna go there, I believe, just to sit back and counter. They're gonna do that for a while, of course, and then half time, 1-0 down, we're gonna change it, and Bayern are gonna go all out really, and then I actually think they will score. They'll make it 1-1. Tuchel's game plan is definitely going to be just to go there and sit back, counter attack, smash and grab. I actually believe he's more than content with a draw, taking it to extra time, taking it to penalties. I don't necessarily think he's going there, you know, thinking I'm going to win. Tuchel's very realistic, very pragmatic manager. So I think half time, Real Madrid are 1-0 up. Bayern are going to go for a bit more. They're going to grab a goal and then they're going to sit back again. I don't think they're going to push on for that winner. I actually think, you know what, they're going to hold out. I don't think it will be 1-1. I think we're going to extra time in this. Actually, no I don't. Okay, two things are happening. Either it's going to end 1-1 and then in extra time Madrid win 2-1, or it's going to be 1-1 and then late on, in typical Madrid fashion, Madrid score and make it 2-1, and I think like it'll probably be like Bellingham or something, or Rodrigo, he loves doing that. And Madrid, for me, I believe are gonna win this game 2-1, either in normal time or extra time, and they're gonna be victorious and we're gonna go to the Champions League final. For me, I just think Madrid, you know, they just know how to get it done. They always find a way to do it. They always find a way. And play the 2 times. Even when they play bad, you saw it in this, you know, that first leg Bayern were much better than Madrid, were not that good at all, really. Especially in the first half, and they still managed to get away from the Allianz with a draw. They got some sort of, you know, voodoo going on in this Champions League. They always do. And I believe they're going to win, find a way to do it. Both legs going to end 2-1, and it's going to be, as I predicted before, I'm sticking with my original prediction. We're going to have a Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund Champions League final. But there we go. Those are my predictions for the Champions League second legs. Let me know if you agree or disagree with those predictions, and if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like. see